you've been around this offense for a while. How do you feel like your fall camp has been, and you know, Coach and Miller just said kind of your mastery of the playbook?
Yeah, I feel really well. You know, I feel like this is the best camp I've had so far, and you know, being around guys when I was younger like Aiden and Jack who had been you know, in the offense a while and how they mastered it. And, so that was a big thing then at that time, and yeah, you know, feeling really good about where I'm at. And, you know, just trying to stay prepared as possible. So
kind of the same thing for you, Deuce. You've been here now for a little bit.
Yeah, it's my second fall camp, and I'm feeling much more comfortable in the system and feeling more confident going out there and making plays. Last fall camp, you know, I came in the summer, so I was still getting used to everything, getting used to college, getting used to the playbook, but I definitely feel more eased into the offense.
I guess for both of you guys, starting with Brady, competing with Miller, what does that look like for you guys? And also, what have you learned from Miller over the course of this offseason?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, Miller's an older guy who's got a lot of experience, so you know, it's nice to, you know, pick his brain like we were able to with Tyler and you know, the other guys we've been with. So just another, you know, asset and resource to use, and pick his brain and try to learn as much as possible. So.
Yeah, with Miller going into his fifth year, he's been through a lot of things, especially starting at USC. And me going into my second year, I feel like I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Tyler, and you know, learned a lot from Miller, seeing the way he prepares and goes about his business. It's good to learn from.
Yeah.
I guess, is it hard to be patient, or how has that process been for you in just kind of developing and waiting your turn?
Yeah, it's extremely tough. You know, I've tried to use them as much as possible, and you know, it's hard because you want to play, and that's what you come to college to do. And but you know, you look at guys like Joe Burrow and Tom Brady and guys that, you know, have sat and waited their turn, and you know, it's a big resource in the end, and I'm going to try to use that as much as possible, and use Miller this year as much as possible too, and you know, just try to be prepared as I can.
I guess where those internal conversations like of not, you know, leaving, but just kind of trusting the process?
Yeah, you know, it was, you know, at the end of this last year, I was only going to have 2 years left, and then I was able to get an extra year. So that was kind of a big factor in coming back, and, you know, like, you know, being a guy that had been in the offense and understands it, and I think that was a big factor too in coming back and stuff. So,
guys, you guys spend so much time together every day, and Miller, obviously, and Mason, but yet you're competing. You know, for how is the relationship, and how do you guys kind of deal with the competition aspect?
Yeah, like on the field, it's business, but you're meeting together all day. You're in the locker room together. We all have lockers right next to each other, so we try to separate the two. But it's definitely, you know, you lock in on the field, you compete, you handle your business, but in the meeting room, you laugh and joke and be teammates.
Yeah, I would say so too. You know, it's a lot of fun in that room. You know, a lot of jokes going around, but like Deuce said, you know, when you come out here, it's business, and everybody's trying to do the best they can. And once you kind of get off the field, you know, we joke with each other and have fun. So,
for both of you, your assessment of the offense after 2 scrimmages?
We've been good. Spring, Miller was in, so he was new. He was getting a lot of reps, but we've all learned this fall camp, and we started off fast, and we just got to keep going to this last scrimmage on Saturday.
Yeah, I feel like we got a good balance of, you know, guys coming back from last year, and, you know, new guys coming in, and I feel like we got a lot of talent at receiver, and you know, the O-line's coming along great. Running backs are obviously studs, so I think it's going to be a really fun offense to watch, and I think we're going to score a lot of points like we did last year. So.
And kind of the flip side of that question for both of you guys, what have you seen out of the defense so far in fall camp, and how have they gotten better?
Yeah, well, that front seven for the defense is really good. You know, that front, they come really fast, and we have a good secondary, and you know, it's just good on good, iron sharpens iron. So we know if we can do good against these guys, when we have other people to play, then we'll do our thing.
Yeah, I think they got a great scheme, and it challenges us every day, you know, with our reads and things like that. So I think, you know, got a lot of talent there too, and guys that are going to be ready to step up and go. So.
Deuce, in what ways do you feel like you've grown from, you know, just 1 year ago?
Yeah, I feel like I've matured a lot, been more, you know, locked in on the things that I need to be locked in, just spending extra time up here in the film room, and you know, being more locked in on my playbook and learn how to operate at a high level has been big for me, especially watching Tyler last year, and you know, seeing how he goes about things, seeing Miller, you know, watching everybody, watching Brady, watching our other quarterbacks, just taking piece by piece and putting them into my game and you know, my situation, and just going about it that way.
Good. Cool. All right.
Yep.
Thanks.